GT Class 2 Suzuka Circuit. Hello there everybody and welcome back to OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. We are in our semi-pro GT season and we're driving in our GT Class 2 finale, round 1. We're in our Ferrari 488 GTE. We're driving at the Suzuka Circuit in Japan on the International Racing Course B. We're doing 4 laps. We're driving at night with semi-cloudy skies. And we started 11th of 22. Now these laps are decent length. They're going to take a little while. And I wish they would stay out of the dirt and quit kicking up clouds of smoke in my face. It's hard to see whether it's just dirt or whether it's engine failure. So whenever you get a big cloud of smoke coming towards you, you don't know what to do. So I move over a little bit. It becomes a problem sometimes, maybe later on in this race. In the meantime, all we can do is, my normal strategy is take the first lap and drive it as clean as possible, of course. I mean, the whole race should be driven clean. And this is Grid Legends, so it makes it a little difficult at times because they do like to spin out, bump and rub and rear end you and do all sorts of strange stuff that you don't normally see, but that's okay because it's part of, see, just like that, it's all part of the game. And I got to try and keep this Ferrari on the track, which proves to be a difficult task indeed in this particular race. Now as we're catching up to these guys, we got to try and move up as quickly as we can, because this particular race, these guys keep coming back and they are really relentless. They stay on your tail and they'll zip by you and the race goes back and forth, and it's really tough. Especially when you get a section like we are in right at the moment, where the track is wide enough for 2 cars, but you go back and forth through these little curves, that there's really no spot to pass anywhere there, because you can try to pass on one side and then you can't get around because the guy zips in front of you. So you got to take your passing options when they become available, which is usually right here at the grandstand where the lap ends. There's usually a straight section, and then sometimes there's a few more throughout the track. So you got to try and pass as many cars as you want. So we did that, and we are in our 2nd lap now. We've only got 4 cars left in front of us, so things are looking really good, and all 4 cars are right there in front of us. Now for myself personally, I don't like to be the lead car early in the race. I don't mind later on, like say in the last lap, but not early on in the race. See, there he is. He's doing it to me again. Makes it hard to see. If you become the lead car early in the race and you got 2-3 laps to go, it's really hard to gauge how hard you got to drive, how hard you got to push. So I like to stay behind a little bit. That way you can go a little bit slower, you can see how the cars are going to drive, and you can pick your opportunities to pass when you want, and when there's it's safe to do and there's enough room to actually get by them, and try to get by only one at a time. The OpenFed had a real bad habit of always trying to win the race in the very first lap, and it just doesn't work. Kind of like trying to pass them on the outside of a turn like I just tried. Got by 2 of them and they just zip right back by you because you don't have enough power to get by them on the outside. It makes it difficult. So when things like that don't work, there's no point in trying them, because it's just going to waste your time. And when you waste your time on the track, you could end up 1 or 2 positions further back in the group, and you don't want to do that. So here we are, ripping through those little curves again. So we know once we get into them, you're pretty well where you're going to be until you get by the grandstand. But we're sitting in a good position. We're in 4th spot. We got only 3 cars in front of us, and they're right there. They're right there in front of us, not very far away, easy to see. They're not going to take off on you. You know that they're close enough that, well, by the grandstand, you've probably got a really good chance of passing maybe 1, 2. We don't know. It depends on how hard they fly. Now they are the cars at the front of the group, so those cars are going the hardest. Obviously, that's why they're at the front. But this guy lost his tire. Oh, and he ran into the wall. Well, that really makes it easy for the Opafet because it moves us up. It's really good for us, bad for them because their race is over. Now, our race is not quite over either because we've only just started the third lap. So we still got a ways to go, but we've only got one car to pass, you say. So, you know, it should be fairly easy and we should be okay. But as soon as you think that, then of course you know the unexpected is going to happen. And like I was saying before, I like these guys to stay out of the dirt so they can quit kicking up these clouds of smoke up at you. And you don't know whether they got engine damage or they just hit the dirt. So I tend to slow down a little bit when I see that. And I tend to move over to a different side of the track that I think the cloud of smoke originated on. Because if the cloud of smoke comes from the left, you certainly don't want to keep going down that, oh, like that right there. So you slow right down. See, now he's quite a ways in front of me still, but in the meantime, 3 cars have zipped by me. So, you know, you thought you were sitting in pretty good position, but here you are, well, halfway through lap number 3, and now back behind 2 guys again. And we keep running off the track, which costs us time because it puts a real drag on the car and it slows you down. So every time you do that, you get moved further back down the ladder. Now here we are in those little S curves again, that little curvy section, so you know we're going to be stuck behind them. So let's try and catch up to them as close as we can, and then when we get to the grandstand, we'll see if we can pass them during that straight section, because the laps, even though they're decent length, they're going to go by real quick because we're going at a pretty high tempo. So when we get over here, this is where I should be stepping on it. Let's see if you can get by these guys. There we go. Now we're going to be in a little bit better position. But these guys, like I said, they don't stop. Just see, and I just lost control for a second, and there again, and I'm back in 3rd place again. It gets a little frustrating. This is a tough race to win, and here now you're going to try and get by these guys, but the blue car is blocking you out. You can't go to the right because he's going to pull into the corner, and you can't go to the left because the Corvette's there. So you're not going to get by him. Oh, but they finally both moved over, so hopefully now that we're in front, we can stay in front because we only have about half a lap left. Why, I tell you, this is an awesome race. Nice and fast. It would have been better if I would have stayed on the track a little bit better the few times that I drove off onto the grass. I try not to do that, but hey, I'm not the best driver in the world and I'm going to make mistakes. Lots of them. So, then we get tagged from behind for our troubles again, but that's okay. Anyhow, really enjoyed this race, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Awesome race, great graphics, great gameplay. This car just sits on the road like you wouldn't believe it. Really nice to drive. As we're coming up to those little curvy sections again, we're almost at the end of the lap. And it looks like the Opafet's about 1.2 seconds in the lead. Not a big lead, and they keep pushing you, they keep catching you and then backing off a little bit. But I don't think they're going to catch us because I think we're going to run out of track before they get close to me. Well, I hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you back again here at Opafet Gaming real soon. You have a great rest of your day. And until the next time, you've been racing with the Opafet.